Here are the 10 most common lies women tell men every single day. Number 1, I'm just not ready for a relationship right now. Translation, I'm not ready for a relationship with you. When she actually meets the guy she wants, she will clear her schedule. She will move cities and introduce him to mom in 72 hours. If she's confused about you, I'm sorry, but you were never the prize. Number 2, I want a nice, good guy. No, biggest lie in modern dating. Nice equals spineless in her world. She wants the guy who can say no, who has boundaries, and who isn't terrified of upsetting her. That's why the she cries about still gets her wet, while the nice guy gets friend-zoned into oblivion. Number 3, he's just a friend. Sorry, no, there's no such thing as platonic male best friends who aren't secretly in love with her. He is an orbiter, a backup plan, a vulture circling ahead. Men don't invest time, attention, and emotional labor into women they aren't trying to sleep with. So never ignore the friend. Number 4, money doesn't matter to me. It matters more than she will ever admit. She doesn't need you to be filthy rich, but she needs you to be resourceful. Women are hardwired to choose the man who can protect and provide for her. So stay broke and watch how that fast love turns into, I need space. Number 5, I've only slept with 4 guys. Take whatever number she gives you and add 5 to 10 minimum. That math never adds up because the truth will make her feel judged. High mileage usually means higher chaos. Number 6, my past doesn't matter. I've evolved. I've changed. Your past is the best predictor of your future. If her history is a dumpster fire of cheating, drama, and broken men, guess who's getting burned next? You are, my friend. People don't change unless the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of growth. Number 7, oh, I didn't see your texts. I'm sorry. She lives on that phone like it's an oxygen tank. She saw it. She ignored it. Number 8, I want a guy who's vulnerable and cries with me. She wants a man who's strong enough to hold space when she cries. She doesn't want you sobbing on her shoulder at 2 a.m. because your feelings got hurt. Number 9, I don't know what I want. She knows exactly what the hell she wants. She just doesn't want you to know that you're not it. This is a test. Weak men chase clarity. Strong men walk away. And number 10, I'm not like the other girls, I promise. Every girl who says this is exactly like the rest, biologically wired to chase strength, status, and leadership. The second you believe her unicorn story is the second she loses respect. Stop listening to her words. Start watching her actions. Words are free. Behavior costs something. That's why behavior is where truth hides. Which lie hurt you the most? Drop your number down below.
1, here's the uncomfortable truth. Men don't want to hear, but need to hear. Women lie every single day in dating, not because they're evil, but because honesty would cost them options. I'm not ready for a relationship just means I'm not ready for one with you, because when she meets the guy she actually wants, suddenly she's ready, available, relocating, and meeting mom by the weekend. I want a nice guy is another fairy tale. What she actually wants is a man with boundaries, a spine, and the courage to say no, not someone auditioning for approval like it's America's Got Talent. And he's just a friend? Please. That man is an emotional backup plan circling like a vulture, waiting for one bad argument to swoop in. Money doesn't matter is cute in theory, but reality says resourcefulness, ambition, and stability absolutely do. Stay broke and watch attraction evaporate faster than trust. My past doesn't matter. I've changed is the most dangerous lie of all, because patterns don't disappear just because someone says they've evolved. If her history is chaos, drama, and broken men, congratulations. You're next. And no, she didn't miss your text. That phone is basically an oxygen tank. She saw it, she ignored it. When she says she wants vulnerability, she means strength with emotional control, not 2 a.m. emotional meltdowns. I don't know what I want means she knows, and it isn't you. And finally, I'm not like other girls is the biggest red flag of all, because every woman who says that is exactly like the rest, wired to respect strength, confidence, and leadership. Stop listening to words. Watch behavior. Words are free. Behavior costs something. Which one of these lies hit you the hardest? Drop the number in the comments, argue with me if you want, and if this triggered you even a little, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who still believes the excuses.
You have to lie to men. You have to lie about your past. You've never been cheated on. You've never been abused. You've never been a target or victim. You've never been lied to. You've never been taken advantage of. You've never been any sort of victim with any man out there, okay? Instead of giving all of your vulnerabilities away to him on a silver tray, keep it shut, keep it to yourself. In fact, talk about all the great things your ex-partners have done for you. Talk about how your ex-husband would buy you that car, buy you the flowers, treat you like the queen that you are. Man in front of you, you're subconsciously conditioning him that your standards and expectations are up here. Now all of a sudden the man in front of you wants to compete with men that were previously in your life and hope to one up them, to treat you even better, to impress you even more, to buy you even a bigger bouquet of flowers or bigger, nicer car. Because if you don't lie to men and if you reveal your vulnerabilities, it not only makes you look like a fool but also will attract predators, and most importantly, the man in front of you has no one to compete with. The man in front of you is learning. You don't have any high expectations. You don't have any high hopes and standards and values and boundaries and deal breakers. You don't have them because apparently all these other men in your life walked all over you. So be smart, play dumb, and learn to keep things to yourself.
Second, let me say something that's going to make a lot of men furious and a lot of women nod silently. Yes, women lie to men about their past. And no, it's not because we're evil. It's because men punish honesty. You tell a man you've been cheated on, abused, manipulated, or taken advantage of, and suddenly he doesn't see a woman. He sees a clearance rack. He sees low standards, easy boundaries, and no competition. So instead of handing your trauma to him like a resume of suffering, you keep it classy and strategic. You talk about how your ex treated you well, how he bought you flowers, how he showed up, how you were valued, not because it's all true, but because it subconsciously sets the bar where it belongs. Men compete. That's how they're wired. When there's no competition, effort dies. When you overshare vulnerability too early, you don't create intimacy. You attract predators and lazy men who think you'll tolerate less. Harsh truth? A man treats you how he thinks other men have treated you. If you present yourself as someone who's always been chosen, protected, and valued, he rises or he leaves. If you present yourself as someone who's been walked over, he walks too. Be smart, play dumb, protect your story. And before the comment section explodes, ask yourself why this triggered you so hard. Like if this made you uncomfortable. Subscribe if you want the truth. Women won't say out loud. Question for you. Should honesty be earned in dating or given up front no matter the cost?
One of the dumbest lies that these women who preach about toxic masculinity say is when they say things like, oh, it's okay for men to be emotional. I want my man to be emotional. I want him to vent to me. Be so for real. You do not want an emotional man. You actually find them repulsive. So sorry to all the men that had to endure that time period where being masculine was the absolute worst character trait you could have. We're kind of still going through that, but I feel like we're kind of coming out of it. But do not listen to these women. They do not want you to be emotional. They are lying to themselves. I am a woman that's not mentally ill. I talk to a lot of other non-mentally ill women on a daily basis, and we all agree that venting is very unattractive. Being hyper emotional as a man is very unattractive. And the thing is, these women that preach about toxic masculinity are actually attracted to stoicism. They are actually attracted to masculinity, but they have to lie to themselves to fit within the sisterhood. So then they go find an emotional man and they end up hating the relationship. They are completely exhausted by the emotions. And they get so upset when you put men and women into boxes. And truthfully, I think that that's fake outrage. But the thing is, I'm emotional as a woman. Most women are emotional. If my husband was also super emotional, this would never work. It would be exhausting. So how about we just celebrate the differences? How about we just celebrate the masculinity and the stoicism and say, oh, you know what? I need some of that in my life.
Third, let's be brutally honest. One of the dumbest lies pushed in modern dating is women saying they want emotional men, because no, they don't. And deep down, they know it. Women preach, it's okay for men to cry, and I want my man to vent. But the second a man becomes emotionally fragile, directionless, or starts trauma dumping like it's group therapy, attraction evaporates. Stoicism isn't toxic masculinity, it's stability, and stability is hot. Masculinity didn't suddenly become unattractive. It just got shamed so women could feel morally superior online. The same women screaming, "Be emotional," are quietly fantasizing about men who are calm under pressure, grounded, unshaken, and capable of carrying emotional weight without collapsing under it. A hyper-emotional man doesn't feel safe, he feels exhausting. Two emotionally reactive people don't create intimacy, they create chaos. Women are emotional by nature. That's not an insult, it's biology. So pairing that with a man who also lacks emotional control is a recipe for burnout, resentment, and dead bedrooms. The irony? The women who shout loudest about toxic masculinity are secretly most attracted to masculine men. They just won't admit it because it doesn't fit the sisterhood script. Masculinity isn't the problem. Weakness disguised as vulnerability is. And before the comments explode, yes, men should feel emotions, but broadcasting them 24/7 isn't strength, it's neediness with better PR. Like and subscribe if you're tired of politically correct dating advice that doesn't work. Question for the you. Do women say they want emotional men, but choose stoic ones? Be honest.
I don't know if anyone's told you this, but the truth is overrated. I want you to go out there and lie to these men. The next time you go on a date or you have a conversation with someone you are considering romantically, when it comes to the topic of your exes or any man that's been in your life, even platonically, as far as he's concerned, you have been treated like an absolute princess. You have never been treated badly. You've never been cheated on. You've never been made to feel second best or that you weren't enough. Everyone sees your worth and treats you accordingly, and you do not put up with shit. And you might be thinking, oh, well, if they all treated me well, then why are they my exes? Well, when the question comes up of why things never worked out in the past, you're going to say, we were in different places, we wanted different things, or we weren't as compatible as we first thought, but he treated me very well, I was treated with a lot of respect, but I know my worth, I know what I want, and I know when it's time to walk. And this is going to show him that you know your worth, you have boundaries, you have standards, and you do not put up with less than what you deserve. And if you are not getting what you want, you are out the door. When you tell people you haven't been treated well, or that you're a ride or die and you've put up with a lot, or you really gave someone loads of chances, this just sends the message that you are someone that keeps seeing the best in people and keeps putting up with shit, and you do not prioritize your own feelings for the sake of making something work, which gives the impression of desperation. Like you just really want this to work, so you're going to put so much energy in when you clearly aren't being treated well. And if you've accepted that in partners before, what's stopping you from accepting it again, especially when feelings are involved? And when he knows this, I don't care how good of a person he is or not, subconsciously or consciously, this information is going to affect the way he sees you and his impression of you. As much as they might say they want a good woman that sticks by them through everything, that is such a ride or die, truthfully, they do not respect you. They will not respect you if you will put up with shit, if you are easy to manipulate, if you don't have high standards, that you don't have boundaries, or even if you set them, you don't actually follow through with consequences once somebody crosses your boundaries. Most men will not do more than what they feel is required of them. They're not going to go above and beyond, especially if they know that you are someone that has not received that kind of treatment before. You need to clock that men don't want the easy option. It might seem like they do, but someone to settle down with, they want someone with high standards, with self-respect. The more you do for yourself, the more highly these men think of you. The more you do for them, the more highly they think of themselves. They are wired very differently to us. Even the platonic relationships with men you've had in your life, be it your dad, your brothers, whoever, as far as he's concerned, they treat you like an absolute princess. I don't care if you have a dad or not. I don't care how good your relationship is with him or not. You don't have to go into details and make up lies about it. Just make a general comment of how well your family treats you, how much they prioritize you, or how you always get your way. So he gets the impression that you are highly valued, you are a princess with your family and with everybody else. And you are used to and only accept being treated like an absolute princess.
Fourth, I don't know who lied to you and said honesty is always your best weapon, but the truth is overrated in dating, and men are not entitled to your trauma resume. When you sit across from a man, you do not unload your wounds like a clearance rack of red flags. As far as he's concerned, you've always been treated like a princess. Never cheated on, never neglected, never begging for the bare minimum. Every man in your past respected you, invested in you, and knew your worth, and the only reason they're exes is because you walked away when the standards weren't met. That's not lying, that's positioning. The moment you start bragging about how much you endured, how loyal you were through disrespect, how you gave chances, congratulations. You've just advertised that you tolerate nonsense. Men don't respect struggle stories. They respect standards. If you tell him you were walked all over, subconsciously he knows the floor is available. But when you move like someone who's always been valued, now he has competition, expectations, and pressure to rise or get replaced. And before the comments start screaming manipulation, relax. Men do this instinctively all the time. This is about protecting your leverage, not playing victim Olympics. If that makes you uncomfortable, ask yourself why honesty only seems noble when it costs women power. Like the video if this made you mad, subscribe if you know I'm right but hate admitting it, and comment whether you think honesty builds attraction or kills it. I want chaos in that comment section. I will reply each comments.
Whenever women are doing things behind your back, they actually find it funny because they're getting what they want out of you. They feel like they have the upper hand. They feel like they have the power and the control. But once you are aware of what they're doing, now they're upset. They're not upset because they hurt you. They might be. But they're really upset because they feel like they have a lack of control now. Now you have the decision on whether you want to be with them or not. That is why women keep a lot of stuff from you, because they know if you truly got to know them for them, you wouldn't have given them a chance, you would have wanted to leave, or you would have been dissatisfied. But it's never okay to force someone to live a life that they don't know they're living. You lying to someone about who you are, you're forcing them to live a life without their consent. When I'm on coaching in,
Fifth, let me say the quiet part out loud, because men deserve honesty at least once in their lives. When some women are doing things behind your back, they're not crying about it, they're laughing. Why? Because they're getting what they want. Attention, security, validation, resources, while keeping options open. In their mind, they've got the upper hand. They feel smart, they feel powerful, they feel in control. And the moment you catch on, that's when the tears start. Not because they hurt you, be serious, but because the power dynamic just flipped, and now you get to decide whether you stay or walk. That's why so much gets hidden. Not because it's in the past, not because it doesn't matter, but because deep down they know if you saw the full picture from day one, you wouldn't have chosen them. You would have asked questions. You would have hesitated. You might have walked away. And that's the real fear, losing access. Because lying by omission isn't about protection, it's about control. You can't consent to a relationship when you're not given the truth, and that's not romance, that's manipulation with a cute outfit. And before someone screams, "Not all women," relax. If this doesn't apply to you, congratulations. You're not the target audience, but hit dogs holler for a reason. Because forcing someone to live a life they didn't knowingly choose is selfish, full stop. If you need secrecy to keep someone, it's because honesty would cost you the relationship. That's not empowerment. That's insecurity with confidence makeup on. Men, stop letting people rewrite reality and then call you insecure for noticing. Awareness isn't bitterness, it's clarity. And clarity is dangerous to anyone who benefits from confusion. If this pissed you off, good. That means it hit something. Comment below. Do you agree, disagree, or feel personally attacked? Like and subscribe if you want more takes that don't care about being polite, only honest. The comment section decides who's right. So comment now. I will reply each comments. Each.